So I mean, the whole story's going to basically revolve around that. It's just funny because they said, I mean, he said that that Harley Davidson had only made cars for like a couple years. That they were basically motorcycle manufacturers, but that they had dabbled in making convertibles for a couple of years. They basically had worked with Mercury Ford and had made those for a couple of years. So that's what made this very, very rare. But when you go back and look, it's like impossible to find the information that I'm
See if any of
looking
them are
for.
still sitting around in boneyards somewhere waiting to be revived.
Yeah, and so anyway, it's really hard to like kind of validate that as to whether he was actually just lying to me or whether that was like real. But either way, it was a 1950, convertible or whatever. But we will go more in depth on that. We'll do story time later, of course, and we'll go into that more in depth later for story time. Because obviously that'll be a fun story to talk about.
I'll just get into more coffee so I can get more awake.
Yeah, the swindling of Warrior when he was 15 and a half.
The taking of
Warrior.
What's up, Warrior's man? Money.
McClellan says, "What's going on?" So what's happening, brother? Hey, mine. So you said you got Darth Revan, huh?
I did indeed. The culmination of so many months of activity and work and pain, sweat, and actually no, it just kind of slowly happened because I kind of, forget a day or two here and there. But it eventually came around. It happened.
Yeah. So what's the team look like now?
Well, as you can see, my favorites have changed up quite a bit here as such because I don't really need a whole lot of the Old Republic anymore to actually work towards that. Right. And they're all sitting at Gear 12, Gear 11, so that's a good staging point if I decide to try and bring them up and use them for something else, which at this point it's all up in the air. But got HK's Zetas on them because I figure it'd be a good companion for him. Right now I'm not working towards Malik or anything. That's going to be like the one linchpin in that team that I don't really have, so... interestingly enough, I see a lot of people using the Darth Revan team now in my shard. It's just all gas up and down, left and right, but you'll see an occasional Darth Revan spruced in there, and it's Darth Revan, Bastila Fallen, I think it's HK-47, and then they're throwing in Han and Chewie along with them, which I think is kind of an interesting combo there, because you wouldn't assume automatically that they work together until you start looking at their kits and go, oh, okay, well, yeah, just crazy damage output. But yeah, got Darth Revan, Bastila, got Sith Marauder in there, and Sith Empire Trooper, so that should be the whole team there along with HK for my Sith team once I eventually get them up. If I even get anywhere close to building this team up to a point where I'm actually going to use them in territory war or something like that, and they'll be a good defense team or whatever. But
they're actually pretty good on defense right now. They're really overpowered on defense, even under-geared and stuff like that. Right. So... you can use them on defense, even if they're not very good on offense yet. You'll be able to kind of use them where they're at, and people are going to have to take in something kind of serious, or they'll lose.
Right.
So they got to kind of take it seriously.
Even if they're slightly under-geared, it's a team you can definitely underestimate and go, dang it.
Yeah, you don't go in on against Darth Revan with an valued team. You still got to take in a solid team against that. So
you got to make some kind of effort, some kind of attempt. So I do like those sneaky teams because those are ones you can see on Territory War. They rack up at least 2 defensive wins at that point, which is pretty great because in any of my Territory Wars these days, it's just, okay, I know that they all got to go down in one swath, but hopefully they took down a few guys while they're at it so they didn't get a full 20 out of the clear.
Yeah, so I hear they finally dropped the last prerequisites for the
new Kylo,
the new characters, Rey. And then they finally announced that the new characters are going to have an ultimate ability, and that the ultimate ability is going to require being leveled up over time. It's going to require gathering pieces, kind of like Zeta pieces, that you're going to have to collect over time and then apply to the character to finish the ultimate ability for that character. And you're going to have to do that through doing the event, collecting those pieces, and then applying those pieces towards that character. So it's going to take some time, even once you acquire
these characters, and then these characters, and then these characters, and then these characters. So all right, that's all. Now you need these pieces, and these relics, and these pieces.
They've layered this like an onion so deep that it's not even funny. So first,
it's not even worth trying.
First, first you've got to get all the characters 7-star. Then you got to get all their gear. Then you got to get all the relics.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to complete the event. Then you got to get the tickets through whatever form of ticket gathering you do, both light and dark side, because there's going to be different tickets for different sides.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to collect what you get with the tickets. Then you got to power up the ability, and then you'll actually have a finalized character. All of that. It's literally like a 5-layer cake that you've got to build.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, it's
literally guaranteeing the end of this game, this app will last at least another year. It just, they just put a nice little insurance plan in there for themselves. Just be like, all right, massive paywall, still got plenty of people still good and invested. We can string them along just a little bit longer before this thing finally dies out completely. And it will. Believe me, it will, people.
Darth Skywalker asks, should I start a new free-to-play account? I haven't played in a year. Oh, man. If you just want to have some fun and just play kind of superficially, absolutely.
Purely actual fun. Yes.
Just to not care and just have fun and not worry about crystals, absolutely. Just play, have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cody says Capital Games' lack of content has gone supernova and has turned into a black hole that is sucking in existing content. Rest in peace, Territory War. That's true. Griffith says,
sucking the life out of me.
Warrior, are you still retired? Yes, I am still retired. This is SureShot and SureShot's account.
Do you think Warrior's characters would look like this at all? In his... No.
Well,
not even in Scissorman. Come on.
Well, on Scissorman, I don't actually have Rey on Scissorman account. That's the one thing I don't have.
That was like pretty much worthless until Light Side Territory battles.
Or until just recently for the Galactic Legend Rey. She's the only one. But
the only reason.
Griffith quit 3 weeks ago. He feels much more relaxed. Definitely without the daily commitments. Definitely without the daily commitments.
Yeah.
Barrett says tickets to run the event. Sounds like you need to beat each tier of the event multiple times to get the ultimates and the unlock. It does sound like that. And then Darth Skywalker says he would only focus on First Order, nothing else. That would be fun, but it's still going to take a lot of time. A lot of time.
A whole lot of headache.
Apropos says, is there a place where we can get a copy of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Vanilla? Could be fun to play pre-mods and protection. I wish. That would be awesome.
You just play the characters as they lie without being able to mod them? That's
once upon a time before mods and before protection. I remember that. That was where everyone.
So nobody was running around with the protection bars. It was just straight health bars.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and there were no mods.
There were no mods, so the whole screen didn't look all complicated and full of all your buffs sitting above you.
It was just a character. You didn't mod them. It was just the character was the character. So everybody got the hey, look at that.
Oh yeah. They started a territory war, and then everybody joined and started set up, and then it disappeared when they did an update. So sorry about that, guys. Reschedule. Here's your crystals. Go away.
All right. Well, free crystals. Can't complain.
As such a
you can.
As such a valued member of this community, I feel so compensated for those 150 crystals. I mean, just my goodness, guys, your gifts outflow.
Am I going the wrong direction?
I don't know. We clipped it.
I don't know. We were.
Oh, big time. Yeah, opposite. Other way.
Other way. I'm trying to figure out which way we're supposed to go.
Go back the other way there. Because, if it's clipping with me on it, then it's...
Take this bar and just drag it down just a tiny bit.
We're a little decibel there.
Yeah, just a little bit decibel.
Just a little less. Little bit.
How's that? I don't want to clip. Yeah, Darth Skywalker. Are you still in the mattress business? Yeah, why, yes I am.
Still slinging mattresses.
I'm in the relaxation
but you can hide your money in there too.
Yeah, you can. You can actually unzip our mattress, put some stuff in it, zip it back up.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I would say you could hide your weed in there, but you want that more accessible.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't.
Wow, you got a lot of guilt. You got a lot of chats. The Negotiator, Territory Ward, Misdemeanor, whatever. Well, you got a lot of chats.
Few people see on a live stream something they want to ask questions.
Yeah, apparently.
And then it's usually like, oh, I don't know, I'll pass it on to Warrior. Oh, I don't know.
You're like, I don't know nothing.
It's always about speculation, too. It's like, no, you don't understand here. I'm just a guest to a guy who gets limited information. So even if he doesn't, even if he would know, it probably would have gotten passed down to me. So if we're talking about speculation, no. If it's modding and things like that, I can tell you a little bit of what I know.
Little bit. You sound like
a little bit.
Mario. Yeah. Mario. Have you played Mario Kart, by the way? And I have not. Ooh. Although it is on mobile, so that's kind of cool.
Mario Kart on mobile?
That would be fun.
That makes sense they would put it on there. I didn't know they had that yet.
That'd be fun.
There's like 15 different versions of it now, like that and Smash Brothers, which is just amazing. Of course, Nintendo 64 version of Smash Brothers is still amazing. I haven't played enough of the other ones to know for sure, but I think they even have one for GameCube too, so they love their repeat titles.
So Cody asks, am I playing any mobile games? And so the answer is, nah, really not a whole lot. I'm playing right now at this very second. I play Heads Up with the kiddos. I'm playing Kingdom Rush from time to time. I love Kingdom Rush. Yes. That's actually fun.
Tower defense game.
I just started playing Pull the Pin yesterday because I wanted to see what it was about. It's actually very dumb.
One of those advertisements that comes up all the time where you're sitting and looking at going, oh, I solved it already. Why are you pulling that pin? What the heck, dude?
Well, it's like, this is actually the game that's advertised, and I was like, I have to see if it's actually the game that's advertised. It is. It's actually the game that's advertised. But the thing is,
it really is that
it's advertised as a dumb game, but it is the dumb game it's advertised as, but it's still a dumb game. So I'll be deleting that one, but it's at least an honest ad, so I'll give them that. Yeah. An honest ad about a dumb game. Kingdom Rush, I'm playing right now. I like Kingdom Rush. It's a tower defense game.
Oh, I still play that to this day. Yeah, it's a pretty old one, but
yeah, well, they have lots of different kickoffs, and I have multiple ones. But Heads Up, I play from time to time. Yeah, and that's actually the only games I have on my phone right now.
Actually, Kingdom Rush is one it's survived across 3 different smartphones now, and I've had to restart each time because it wouldn't transfer your data to the new phone and all that. There's a way you can get an APK, you can scrape the file, and you can get your saved data out of there, and you can try it and all that. And it works for some people that don't want to go through all that hassle, but through 3 phones, that game is stuck around, and I've replayed it each time, and I've almost beat it again.
And then Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4, basically anything. And then I was playing for a long time, but I haven't played in a while.
Sounds like our evolution is actually going to take us from, starting off with console games, moving into computer games, then to cell phone apps. Now we're getting back around to console games.
I had Blade on my phone for a long time. I was playing Blade. I liked Blade a lot, but I don't know why I deleted Blade, actually. I guess they added guilds and they added arena. And when they added arena, I went into it. As soon as it went into like PvP, it was pretty stupid, actually. So I was like,
That's where I start to lose interest in a lot of games. As long as I can play the environment, as long as I can play on a console, that I know that there's an end to the game inside. There's like a whole reason for what you're doing here. You're accomplishing something as opposed to, I don't know, just keep on going and we'll see. Keep on going and we'll see.
So who knows? Maybe I'll download Blade again. We'll see. Mario Kart actually sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to try that out now.
That would be fun. Yeah, and then they're saying back in the day when Sidious, Stick Ray, Royal Guard were everywhere in Arena. That's true. Yeah. You could have Royal Guard, Ray, Qui-Gon Jinn was like a lot of times he'd be the leader. You could have Sunfac if you happen to wail on him. You could have Sunfac as a tank as well. So you'd have Royal Guard and Sunfac as the 2 tanks. That was wicked. That was the
annoying combo.
Yeah, because Sunfac would dispel, and Royal Guard would always taunt if somebody got injured. So you'd always have a double tank combo, and the double tank combo was a nightmare. If people were trying to climb an arena and saw double tanks, they would just skip you. They were just like, nope, you can't win. And their Ray would be strong, but just barely would try to like mollywop you, but not enough to kill you. She'd be like, bah, 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 bah. And you'd be like in the red, and then Royal Guard would taunt, and then you try and kill Royal Guard, and then Sunfac would taunt.
That wasn't around the time of the Biggs and Wedge combo, was it? They came
No, Biggs and Wedge came about 6 months later.
Yeah, would have been a nice little counter to that, but
Yeah, Biggs and Wedge were pretty powerful.
Close to 15. That would have just finished me off right there.
Yeah, that would have been nice. You're close.
Today I can't count so well, so it's let's see here. Any gear worthwhile in here? There's always down here.
Rivion Kenobi says he used to counter those teams with Luminara Phasma, Saint Han, Ray, and Qui-Gon Jinn. And I tell you, Saint Han was really good because he'd tank, and every time you hit him, he'd feed turn meter to the rest of the team. So that was really, really good. See, Darth Skywalker says he's been playing Mario Kart Mobile for like 8 months, and he's been loving it. Low stress. the enough competition to keep it interesting. They just launched multiplayer too. That's interesting. I actually might check out.
So they
Mario
got guilds
Kart
in that
Mobile.
one yet? Can you customize your car? Can you do mods on your car?
Beep 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 beep. That actually might be a fun game to check out.
I got this new mod where I'm constantly on a star.
Bananas.
Yeah. You got blue shells and stars, just coming out your ears.
All right, I have some cards. I'm doing ATI while he's playing his game. I just love ATI. I think it's fun because it asks the internet questions, and I get to ask SureShot these questions.
Hard-hitting journalistic type questions that they're really going for.
Hard-hitting journalistic questions. If you guys follow me on Twitter, that's pretty cool. If you guys follow me.
So is that what CNN is now? Just ask the internet?
Yeah, I know, right?
What do you guys feel today? What's your opinion? We'll put that out there. We don't like facts.
So I'm on Instagram. I'm doing all of it now. I don't know why, but I am. I have more time actually. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I
wonder why you have more time.
I know. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and I know this is going to sound crazy. I actually am now dabbling in TikTok. Of all places,
of all things, of all insanities.
It allows for me to be a complete idiot for a few seconds at a time.
Intentionally.
So it's a really great place to do some really stupid stuff. So TikTok has been interesting. Yeah, really, really interesting.
Really, really good.
Yeah, it's like video editing though. On a whole different platform, which has been like, oh goodness, I have to start all over and learning how to video edit. That's super annoying. But yeah, I started just recently doing a few of the TikToks, which I thought was stupid, but it's basically memes. They're basically video memes. That's all it is. It's just basically stupid video memes.
It's kind of what replaced Vines and not in a big conglomeration anymore, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically what replaced Vines.
I miss Vines. There's some good people on those.
Yeah, Vines were pretty funny. So it's basically that, but then I'm on Instagram,
I miss the story
on Twitter. And Twitter is it's fun. I love Twitter, and I try to keep Twitter light and hearty, but the problem with Twitter is we're in 2020, which is going to be the year in America where we elect another president. So unfortunately, there's just a lot of stuff on Twitter feed that's just overwhelmingly about politics. I tried not to keep it about politics, but right now, coronavirus and politics are flooding Twitter,
but
whether you like it or not.
Coronavirus is political, so
I know. Well, it can be. So it's one of those things. I'm trying not to.
It's a political weapon. People. Don't believe it. The Earth is flat and a donut all at the same time.
I try not to keep, Twitter or Facebook or any of that stuff. I try to keep things not religious, not political, not this, not that. Just try to have fun with everything. Try to have a good time, but sometimes it pervasives just because it's impossible.
It's impossible. Keep it in the light topics.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Getting heavy.
It gets in there.
There's that word again, heavy. Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull in the future? So here, just to give you an idea of the illustrious things that you can look forward to years into an account is just copious amounts of gear that you never need or use, and they'll just keep on stacking it and piling it on, which is good to a certain extent for relics, but I mean, can we talk about redundancy here, people? Because thank goodness I have 4,000 to 5,000, 6,000 pieces of these pieces of gear that I use on one character one time, not through multiple gear levels. Love it. Good stuff. Love the redundancy.
Connor Couture says, surprised you're back, at least speculating on Galaxy of Heroes. Surprisingly for a lot of you, if you haven't known, on RSG, if you don't know who they are, shame on you. You should. They've been a pillar of the community.
How dare you?
They've been a pillar of the community since almost as long as me. And so they've been around for over 3 years as well. And I started a show back with Smithy D. If you remember Smithy D and I founded Jedi Academy over 3 years ago, and they took over the show when Smithy D couldn't host it anymore. And so I'm still on that show. I still every Saturday morning am am on the show that I helped found, I still answer questions. My knowledge for the game hasn't just instantly evaporated.
Mm-hmm.
So I have
knowledge for the game and love of Star Wars has not faded.
Obviously, over time, my knowledge will fade. So obviously, eventually, at some point, I will not be on that show anymore. At some point, but it hasn't. Nothing has changed. Honest to God, in the last 3 months.
Back in my day, they only had Gear 13 and Relic 7.
You know what has changed in the last 3 months since I left?
Hmm.
Since I left in January, February, March. You know what's changed?
Nothing.
13 prerequisites for the 2 characters that were in the game when I left. That's it. We now know what's needed for those characters. Mm-hmm. That's it. If I was to come back tomorrow, nothing in the game has changed except for there's 3
knowing what the ridiculous prerequisites are,
13 prerequisites that were blank are now not blank. That is all that has changed in the game. That's it. Mm-hmm. Literally nothing has changed in the game except for the unknown 13 are now known. They've done nothing else change. So nothing has changed. So yeah, that's why I'm on that show and still chatting with the community and still doing that. So I haven't really gone anywhere.
Still a part of the fun.
Yeah, I just do it on their show because they host that show. So if you ever want to get advice on the game and modding and things like that, if you're not a patron, you can still go to that show Saturday mornings. RSG would love to have you. They do shows every lunchtime. Every day, and then they also do the Saturday morning show, which I'm on pretty much every Saturday, pretty much always have been every single Saturday. So there's that opportunity for you to go and get good sound advice, which we have a really good cast. We've brought in a lot of fresh people, a lot of fresh new individuals, new people who just started YouTubing in the last few months to year. Jedi Master Adastra, she started YouTubing within a year ago. There's also a couple others, It's Just Ian. He just started YouTubing a few months back, 6 months ago. And there's a few others. So
it's just Ian?
Yeah, it's just Ian.
Himself short.
I know, right? So yeah, there's some really good guys on there and all that. So Cody says he's starting to get the sniffles. Just wish him luck.
Hope you got your will and your affairs in order, man. Gonna happen. Sorry. Nice knowing
Ramon
you.
the Mad says he's got the coronavirus at the hospital and it isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. He had the dengue fever and it's way worse. If you're telling the truth, good for you that you're holding out, and if you're joking with us, then great. But hopefully you're telling the truth, and hopefully that's you're doing fine. So
I didn't realize I was gonna mirror match this guy.
Yeah, you want to go after his bigs. Just smoke his bigs.
Smoke him if you got him. What, bigs?
Jedi Fallen Order would be fun to play for sure.
We're just going to kind of mimic each other's movements back and forth here. Oh, he was breached, but I wasn't. Lucky me. And
Darth Skywalker asked if there is a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes style game for Lord of the Rings, and there is. There actually is. I heard that it's kind of a pay grab, similar to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, as is basically every mobile game. Sadly, you guys, every mobile game
going that direction.
That's basically the design of every kind of mobile game. You don't have breach, so you can come in with him.
Oh, that's right.
Come in with Cassian. Because you don't have breach.
Don't have breach, but I was also thinking that I had spy in there.
Yep. Now take out their Millennium Falcon. Yep. Get rid of him. No. This third shot and call your Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, it's got the most damage for that. And there we go.
Now it's over. He cannot kill you. You have all the damage.
He can't do anything.
Yep. Now just take out his tank. Yep. Take out his tank.
Keep on throwing shade your way.
Yep.
Take a little bit.
You always want to take out his damage dealer. Once his damage dealer's gone, it's over.
Yeah.
So.
Then it should be an easy fall, right?
Yep. All right, I'm gonna get to some of these questions because I got some fun ones. I also pulled today.
Be like an Autobot and roll out.
Yeah, I grabbed these from the cards that I have, and the ones I pulled today were actually from Pull the Internet. Pull the Internet, there's always where they pulled the Internet and asked the Internet what they thought. And so, again...
What do you think about such things?
Yeah, and so we're gonna ask the Internet as well. There's a thing on the bottom. You can stun him, yep. Is eating in bed gross?
At a different point in my life, I would have said yes because I just don't do that. Kick the wife out for eating crackers in bed. You don't like crumbs and all that. Well, at this point in my life, I've eaten in bed quite a few times, so I cannot say that anymore. I guess it's still gross. Yeah, I guess across the board it is. I didn't used to do it, and now I do it more often than I should. You just never put a TV in your room. That's the thing. That's the key. You just don't have a TV or at the foot of your bed that you can have easy access to, especially Netflix and YouTube and all that. I mean, you'll just get stuck there for a while. It's comfy and you never want to get out.
So I have a unique take on this for sure.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it, let's just say if you're going to do it, have a mattress pad on your bed. Put a mattress pad on your bed to keep not only your skin cells, sweat, and oil out of your bed, but keep all your food out of your bed and your liquids out of your bed, because that's just nasty if that crap gets into your bed.
Oh, that's just nasty.
It's just nasty. It really is. It's gross.
Yeah.
That's just...
That's that. Figured you would.
Yeah.
You and your foresight. Oh, come on. That was the death blow right there.
And extra turns. That's all right. You'll still win.
Yeah. That's right. No matter what, you'll dodge it.
So yeah.
Every time.
So eating in bed is gross in my opinion. You say not so much?
Oh, I say it's gross. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It just doesn't change the fact that I still do it sometimes.
So
just being
gross,
honest here.
You're going to do it.
Yeah.
I've
still done it.
You're going to do it, but it's gross. Okay, well, 73% of these people on the internet said it's not gross.
It's not, huh?
Yeah, 73% think it's not gross.
I mean, I guess if you're eating things that don't have crumbs or don't, spill,
Dude,
don't
the internet
sticky,
is dirty birds.
Oh, yeah, the internet's always dirty birds.
They are dirty birds.
Mm-hmm.
This makes me disgusted.
And the internet has less and less shame these days, as we've seen from all the keyboard jockeys on Facebook. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that was a great meal. I was just sleeping it and stewing it all night.
Dude,
roll over and grind it in.
That's 3 out of every 4 people out there think that eating in bed is not gross.
Yeah. That's why I find
they don't have table TV tray things.
No.
They're just like,
out of the vacuum cleaner for afterwards. They can sit there
and then they're like, flick, 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 flick.
Mm-hmm. If it's gonna happen, it's be something relatively clean. And if I do spill some crumbs or whatever, I'm hopping out and scooping that into the trash can, whatever. Just trying to be somewhat clean about it.
Jesse,
you dirty pig.
Jesse Renfro said, "How's your Darth Revan doing?" And we just showed it. He's around gear 9-ish.
Let's go. Actually,
yeah, you can go back.
He's waiting for
gear 8.
Waiting for gear 9.
Oh,
yeah.
One raid gear, not bad. Not bad. 1 raid gear piece.
Mm-hmm. One raid gear piece that now is up to 30. Hey, look at that. 39. All right.
So I was asked, are you watching the new Clone Wars season by Darth Skywalker? And I'm going to be, but I'm actually waiting intentionally for there to be like 4 or 5. So that way I can kind of sit down and watch like 2 at a time, because I know that when I watch 1, I'm gonna be like, and so I don't want to have be able to watch just like one tiny show and be like jonesing for a whole week. So I figured I'm just going to ignore it like it's not around yet. Just pretend like it doesn't exist.
Wait for the episodes to accumulate.
Yeah, wait till there's like 5 or 6, and then I'll be able to like chew on like 2 at a time. It'll feel a little better when I can do a couple episodes, just because they're short, So that's what I'm trying to do. And nobody has really been talking too much about them. Weirdly enough, I haven't seen, a whole lot of anything on them. Now, I will, before it ends, catch myself up, because I don't want everybody to be like, oh, did you see how that ended? That was so great.
Hop on Facebook one day and all of a sudden, spoilers!
I know, and that will happen. And so that's the thing. I am going to, I will, catch myself up for sure. I just wanted to give myself let the show get a little bit ahead, and then I'm going to give myself that opportunity to kind of watch a few at a time. And then I'll get myself caught up by season finale for sure. But yeah, you can slice some of those mods. Let's see what's up.
I can, because I think I have quite a few materials sitting around, so
yeah.
See
what's that blue one? Anything good? Speed.
It's got some speed on your
defense. You got defense rolled 3 times.
I take offense to this defense.
That defense is just going to roll again. Do it again.
Yes.
Roll the defense.
Let's just watch the defense go. Bing!
I knew it!
Hey, there it is.
Knew it.
All right. By the time he gets up to a gold mod, he'll have 85% defense. It won't matter for anything. If I could take it to yellow and it would be a speed, that would be good, but that's not going to happen
No,
because he
that's
doesn't
just
really
a
need
waste,
potency
bro.
or
I
anything
knew he
like
was gonna
that.
roll
So that's
defense,
just,
dude. That's just life, man.
You tricked me. How could you?
Darth Skywalker says, "I'm a good dude and I'm selfless and kind. Mad respect. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Very kind words. I
Way to
appreciate
talk
that."
yourself. Oh, you're talking about him. Oh, okay.
Frank Brown says, "I enjoy a nice tub of gravy in bed. Gotta say, you pour it on yourself or what?"
Wait.
That's nasty.
Are we talking
That's
homemade
nasty.
or are we talking KFC here? Because, I might be able to get behind some KFC gravy in bed. Just, depending on the mood, however it grabs you, let's get it on with some gravy. I mean,
All right, I got another question because that one's disgusting, and I gotta get that question behind me. Get behind me, Satan.
I got a question
That
for you
question
to
is
get that one out of my
wrong.
mind now.
Yeah, that question just messes with me. Would you rather have your own personal bathroom? I already know you have that at your house. You already have that. So, but would you rather? Well, you have both of these. So, but you can only have one or the other then.
Only have one.
Because you have both already.
So I have to give something up in this question.
Yeah, in this question you would. Would you rather have your own personal bathroom, or would you rather have your own personal office? Knowing you could only have one personal bathroom or personal office.
That's funny because like life in general, or are you talking like at an office building? If you're one of the managers, or whatever, do you get your own personal bathroom, or you get your own personal office? You get to be part of one or the other, or whatever. I guess if it's
let's say it's in a public environment where you work in a public environment. You go to work and you got to either go and have your own personal office, or you have to go. You get your own personal bathroom.
That's a toss-up.
In a place where you know that there's going to be lots of public people.
Because,
coronavirus.
Right. Well, because I do appreciate, I would love to have my own bathroom in that situation just because, yes, coronavirus nastiness. And I'll go with Dan Cook on this one. Why is it when you walk into any public restroom, anywhere, why is everything wet? Everything's got a puddle of water sitting somewhere. Someone just got done, washing their dog in there, and all over the walls and the mirror and all that. You got stains on everything. It just looks like just liquids of any bodily or sewage type manner are just spraying the walls and ceilings. So in a healthy, sanitary type environment situation, not only just comfort level, being able to enjoy your own space while you're sitting there, exposed to the world, my own bathroom would be great, but I'm on the other hand, the other foot, I'm a very focused person when it comes to my work. And although I've been a manager a lot and I've done a lot of things where I had people under me, I work much better on my own, focusing on a task and completing it all the way through instead of getting, distracted 15 different times. So to have my own office would be great too. So that's a toss-up. If we're talking in an office, public situation, I guess I would forego my solitude and sanctity in my office, and I would say my own personal bathroom for sure. Because that's just cleaner, that's just nicer. I would probably get better work done because I know I can go and comfortably enjoy a seat that I can sit on and not have to worry about what I just caught.
Yeah.
So I would say the bathroom.
Yeah, bathroom. I'm a bit. I would lean towards the bathroom too if I was public. I think I could work in a public space pretty fine.
I've had to develop those skills. I wouldn't have been able to at a younger
I could grab
age,
Lysol and just spray people.
Right.
Or you could just fart a lot and people.
An
would just keep their
unfortunate person with
distance.
halitosis that wants to talk to you this close, you just kind of spray them in the mouth once in a while, and they'll get the picture.
Or just fart a lot and they'll keep their distance. They would like, nah.
If we're polling our audience right now, I guess they're going to go with office 100%, man. Looks like everybody's up to
office. Wow.
Yeah, coronavirus.
They would rather have a bathroom shared. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
why is it though that bathrooms just I don't know. They get disgusting. And I'm in a place.
Because it's not your personal bathroom. And some people, if there's a personal bathroom, it would look worse. But I think as a majority, as a whole, with public is concerned, if it was their personal bathroom in their space, they would probably take some pride in it and clean it up a little bit better. Whereas if it's a public restroom, somebody else is cleaning that up. Somebody else is cleaning that up. Somebody else. Like our whole society is all about passing responsibility, not having any personal responsibility now. So that's just. Public restroom is just one more big show of that where people just don't care about anybody else.
What's weird is we have two restrooms where I work, a male and a female restroom. Funny how that works. And it's the male restroom is
funny. There's only
we have two guys that work with us and two gals that work with us. And so I just made a rule us guys will clean the guys' room, right? L. And then the ladies can clean the ladies' room. So that way it's kind of fair, right? 2 ladies will clean the ladies' room.
The women will keep the feminine hygiene products in the actual trash can, and the men will clean the pee off the walls. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, well, there's 2 of us. We'll tackle this room, and you 2 tackle that room. But occasionally they're like on vacation, or they're sick, or they're gone, or whatever, and you sometimes have to like shore up the difference or whatever and help out, work as a team. So there's sometimes I go into the ladies' room to like clean up, and I'm just like,
see a need, fill a need.
Yeah, I'm just like disgusted. I'm like, what is going on in here? Why? And when I was young as a child, story time. When I was young as a child, literally, I was like 15, and I was like working at this place called Western Sizzlin'. It was near my home. It was like a block from my home. Yeah. And I was able to walk there. And so it was like my first job. I was like a dishwasher. And they were like, hey, we're going to make you clean this bathroom. But there was like a bathroom.
Get in there, peon.
And there was a guy's room and a girl's room. And the guy's room, the toilet was like immaculate. The guy's room's toilet was immaculate. The guy's urinal was immaculate. But underneath the urinal, the floor was like soaked. So the floor was disgusting, but I would just mop the floor. So I would just go in there, I would like Clorox wipe everything, and then like mop the floor, and I was done. And that was the guy's room. It was just like Clorox wipe everything, and then like mop the floor, and I was done.
Pal, zoom right to the moon.
I would go into the woman's restroom, and there was like blood and poop and urine all over everything, like on the toilet, on the seat. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, they must be hovering or something. I don't even know. Like, what is going on in here? It was disgusting. And I'm like, is it normally like this? And he's like, yep, it's normally like this. And I had to like scrub, and it was horrifying. And I noticed the same thing whenever I have to go into this bathroom. And like, what is going on? I thought that it would be the opposite. I thought the dude's room would be like filthy.
If you go with the stereotypes,
and the woman's room would be like clean.
And you talk to a woman, yes, that is the case every time. But sorry, ladies, we're just going to pick on you here for a while. But it's the same way even through high school, because I used to, have girlfriends over and stuff, and friends visit my place, whatever. And I always talk about how clean my room was, and like be so surprised by it, whatever. And I'm like, never thought much of it until suddenly I'd go visit their house. And it's interesting how they make these big declarations of cleanliness and, ew, that's gross, and don't touch that, and make sure you wipe appropriately, and blah, 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 and all these things that they think guys don't do very well. Then suddenly you walk into their own bedroom, their personal bedroom, especially in high school. What's all these piles everywhere? How do you own this much stuff? How has nothing ever made it to the closet or the dresser, and it's all on the floor everywhere, and just a ridiculous
I'm specifically
mess?
Speaking to restrooms, and
I know restrooms. I'm just saying, as far as like the stereotype of women being cleaner than men. I don't know, guys. I've seen a lot of evidence to the contrary here. Just saying. I'm not saying that I'm not going to go full blown stereotypes and say one's better than the other. Blah blah blah. I'm just saying you would assume generally women more clean, guys more dirty, until the evidence suddenly speaks to the contrary.
True. And then Coleman Trieber says, what happened to quitting? I quit. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Look, Ma, no hands. He's playing. It's SureShot's account. Yep. So, yeah, but while we talk, socialize, and have fun, there's no reason why you guys can't watch him play if he has his dailies to do. So I figured we'd put that in the background for you guys. You guys enjoy watching his account, right? No big deal. So
why not?
But no, so I thought it was an anomaly. I thought maybe just Western sizzling food caused people to like have explosive diarrhea or something, and maybe women were more susceptible to the food.
Could be something to that as well.
I thought so. I thought maybe like the food was like red meat, and maybe women's digestive tract couldn't handle red meat as well as men. I don't know.
It's not usually the meat. It's
maybe
always
there's science
it's
behind
always
this.
The special sauces. It's always the add-ons that cause the extra issue.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe there's science to that. Well, then I went to this place called Fur's Cafeteria, which was nearby. This was the place where I got like stabbed, and I like jumped, and the guy cut me, and I like fell to the floor, and my boss Daryl Clark got all like emotional about me getting hurt. Remember that story?
Well,
you don't remember that story, you got to go watch a few live streams ago, because that was a funny story time. And then I worked there for a little while. I had to clean
his mans.
I did have to clean the restroom there when I was a dishwasher. What is it about dishwashers having to go leave dishwashing if you're hyper efficient with dishwashing and have to go clean bathrooms? I don't get that. Like, why do I have to do it if I'm super good at washing dishes?
With any employee who shows a good propensity for anything, suddenly you get extra work. You get the benefit of doing his job too, because he does it terribly. Turd.
Yep.
Almost had him. I was clearing the board there for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, going, is this going to be an easy one? Nope.
Nope.
Now watch him come back. Baby, come back.
Yeah, you got to take out their damage dealer first. But now he's got critical hit immunity, so you could take him out.
Just lost my first guy.
Don't do that. Don't do that, or you'll take away his critical hit immunity. But take away Yoda's buffs and freeze him, and then take out General Kenobi. Now take General Kenobi out. Call an assist.
Nah, that was waiting for more cooldowns.
Kill Yoda. Kill Yoda. Do the heal. Yeah. Now call the assist if you can call somebody to hit Yoda. Yeah. I'm like watching
Jolie. I want Jolie. I'm back and I want you.
That song just keeps coming into my mind. All right, let's see. Just be less efficient, bro.
That speaks to something else too. Isn't it amazing how you start a new job, you show up like a house on fire. You're out there giving your 150%. You're just, making the place just look terrible, in regards to what you're doing around there.
Well, it's got retribution.
It's amazing how quickly you pick up extra responsibilities. You have to stay late. You have to, do extra work compared to anybody else. Half the time you're picking up the slack for all the other people who don't do a very good job. And as soon as you settle down to just your normal 100% effort, suddenly they look at you like, what you slacking for? Oh, we got to call you in the office. We got to write you up. We got to make a big, example out of you because suddenly you're just not pulling your weight around here anymore. Dude who's over here, been working here for the last 5 years, should have been fired 15 times by now. Oh, he gets ignored and overlooked. But suddenly, you're the good, worthwhile guy that shows up and actually makes things happen around there. And you give normal effort as opposed to the above and beyond to try and impress them in the first couple of months of working there. And next thing you know, you've set a new precedent and a standard for yourself that you can never calm back down from because suddenly everybody just expects it out of you. Like, oh, your 150% isn't what you give normally? You can't just, kill yourself every day you come in here? Oh, geez, better fire you and find somebody new.
Yeah, tell me how you really feel, SureShot.
Life experience, man, will tell you a lot about somebody. And I tell you what, it just goes to show you that the hard-working individual...
You got 1 minute to kick these guys' butts. You might want to do full auto on this.
The problem is, it just seems like people assume that standard out of you, and suddenly you're there to pick up the slack for everybody else, but don't expect a raise, don't expect a pat in the back or an attaboy. Nope, just continue to work as usual. And as soon as you complain about it, oh my gosh, what a big problem you are.
It's true. Lucas, what's up, brother? I'm doing well. How are you doing? Frank Brown says, something smells fishy about that story. He's talking about Cody's story. Cody's story sounds terrible. Oh, by the way, to pull the internet on that, would you rather have your own personal bathroom or personal office? The internet said they would rather have their own personal bathroom by 55%. So it was pretty split down the middle, but a little more, 55%, a little bit more would rather have their own bathroom.
I swear, some of these people are answering some of these questions when they're on their best behavior. Because as a whole, you'd ask the internet about something like that, and they would just go grotesque with it. And then suddenly it's on a card, and they know it's going to be on a game later. They're like, oh, no, I guess I'll answer the right way.
Blaze wants to know who's the fifth with Padme, Ahsoka, GK, and Jedi Anakin. You could use Yoda. Yoda works really, really well with Padme, Ahsoka, General Kenobi.
It feels like with any Padme team you do, you're always sacrificing one character that you'd have in another group. It doesn't seem like there's just one specific Galactic Republic crew that you can have without weakening another team.
Yeah.
Pulling a key piece out, kicking the leg out.
Yeah, but having multiple attackers works really well.
True.
Multiple high-end attackers works really well.
She has one of those pesky leaders that can just hang on, and just take it.
Because of bonus protection. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a tough question, dude. This is... he's keeping Yoda with Jedi Knight Revan. Oh, you could, yeah. Then you could do Barriss. You could use Barriss.
She surprises me sometimes.
Yep, Barriss coffee.
Yeah, Barriss coffee.
Yeah,
when she has her coffee, when she has a few buffs on her, suddenly she can actually do some pretty good damage.
If you have her Zeta, it works really phenomenal, actually.
Phenomenally.
Phenomenon. And if you don't, you could consider that. and then put a bunch of health, and then take her relics up
And
to
if you aren't
relic
considering
5,
it, you're
and then
wrong.
watch nobody be able to kill you because her health is at 100,000, and and she's got a Zeta, and everybody's getting healed, and she's got health equalization. So
suddenly feel like you're chopping a redwood down with a hatchet.
yeah, mine has like 120,000 health. Barris.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
another one that can just hang on and hang on and hang on.
What's up, Andrew? How are you doing, my brother? Okay, so this poll the internet question is wow. The internet definitely agrees.
Hit 98.
Yeah, agrees with this. So this is messed up. I don't know if you could do this.
I can do anything. Wait, hit me.
I think you might die before this happens.
Uh-oh.
It says, would you count to 1 million? You literally have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for $1 million. But
if you messed up, you lose.
You're locked in an empty room until you finish. No food, no water, nothing. You're just locked in an empty room until you finish. I think people would die.
Count to 1 million.
Yep.
And get $1 million.
Yep, but you're locked in an empty room until you finish. You don't get anything. You're just locked in an empty room until you finish. I think everyone would die.
I don't know the mathematics of this, the statistics, if you will. You know, how long?
1 million seconds.
How long does it take somebody to count that many times?
Let's do it, dude. You think about it.
Well, because I'd be game to try, but I guess if there was a situation where that's a stupid question because you would literally, expire before you could count to 1 million. You would run out of food, water, blah blah blah. You wouldn't be able to last that long. If that's the case, well then darn. Otherwise, I'm game. I'd give it a shot. Give it the old college try. What did Ninja Bagel? Like the name. Warrior SureShot. What do you use against Geos if you want to save Treya? Oh, that's a Star Wars question.
Nope, you would die. You would die because it would take 12 days. It would take 12 days of counting.
No, 12 days
with no water, no food, and you'd have to count every second.
They can only last about 3 days without water. Something like that.
It would take 12 days of nonstop counting. Every second you'd have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You'd literally die.
Logic and common sense prevails there. I would like to say I would try it, but knowing that it would take me that long, then yeah, I guess I couldn't do it.
See, people are stupid because 90% of the internet said yes. 90% of the internet would die.
Duh, because you sit there and think, all I have to do is count. Well,
logic
even if you're counting very fast, how long would it take you to count literally to 1 million? And now we know.
At like day 6, they would be like this. 400, 400, 400, 400.
My love handles are gone.
400, 400. And people would just be like, unlock the door, get him out of here. Emergencies, get in here, help him out. He does not get that 1 million. He almost died.
It says count fast, and the original question just said in a room by yourself. I mean, yeah, I guess if it's a safe assumption that we don't get food or water, then you can't do it. If you can, if you can take breaks, well then of course, yeah, we'd all be millionaires now. I mean, who wouldn't sit and count to 1 million for $1 million? I would. Just need me some water. That's it. Just keep me good and hydrated. I'll just pee in the corner. Don't mind me. I'm going to look disgusting.
And it says you're locked in an empty room until you're finished. You're just locked in an empty room. There's nothing in there, and you're locked in there. You cannot get anything.
Yeah, it's true. An empty room. I guess they did, insinuating an empty room and it's locked.
Yep. It's locked in an empty room.
They didn't say anything about the warden unlocking and bringing your rations in and then leaving and locking again. So, yeah.
Thomas asked, what phone do I use? I use an S10, Samsung Galaxy S10. Typically, more money does not equal a happier life, so pass on the self-torture. Barrett, you are right.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough fingers and toes.
Money.
Enos says
also
he would lose count.
Right.
Yes, I would lose count too. I'd be like 440,000. Screw it. I'm out. Give me some food.
Andrew, you're bringing up a great riddle by saying that. How does it go? Something along the lines of imagine that you're trapped in a box. This box has no doors, no windows, no way to get out. How do you get out of the box?
By not getting in it.
Nope. Which, of course, sit there and fry your guys' brains for a second. If you're actually curious about that, I can leave that to the end of the show and then see who all guesses it correctly. Comment if you can get that correctly. Imagine you're in a box. No doors, no windows, no way of getting out. How do you escape?
It doesn't have a lid.
No lid.
It doesn't have a lid. That's how you get out.
Doesn't have a lid. What?
Yeah. It's a box. It doesn't have windows and doors, but it also doesn't have a lid, so you can just step out.
Just in other words, there's no way to get out. So how do you get out? You know, if you're trapped in this box. Locked rooms have windows. Well, yeah, that's what I said. You know, this particular box has no windows.
Well,
no white room with black curtains in the station.
And black curtains. All right, you can do another battle.
All the comments just stopped. I just fried their noggins. Wait, hold on a second. How do I get out of this box?
Somebody's doing an internet search right now for that. They're doing their internet
Phase
search.
Through it. Good thought, but no.
That's why I carry a knife. Cut your way out.
Don't have anything with you. It's just yourself.
It's not a cardboard box either.
We'll say you're clothed. And yes, this is an inescapable box.
Inescapable box.
In a box.
Inescapable.
Somebody tell me they give up and I'll give you the answer. Otherwise,
by the way, the best way to not get coronavirus is to not touch your face.
Yeah. You want to avoid physical contact with other people. Don't touch your eyes, your nose, or your face. Nothing like that. Let me just go to my next page of notes here. And especially, never leave a bathroom without washing your hands.
Kev the Jedi says you die.
Nope. Not the answer. No raw action.
No raw action. Ninja Bagel says, give up and try to count to 1,000,000 while I'm there. Maybe it will open up if I finish.
Funny, but no. Oh, I almost got him in one fell swoop. You see that, Yoda? You almost went down.
Yeah.
I love giving everybody buffs, but that always gives somebody else a few chances to give a turn. And
a turn.
And a hoo-yah. And a kicker, sir.
Kill him.
Murder, death, kill. Kill.
AoE. He'll bring them all back to life.
Yeah, I really wanted to say that for Julie. And, of course, he's got Bastila help there. So,
now
back to
take
Yoda.
Out Yoda.
Yoda.
Now take out General Kenobi.
Yoda. Yoda.
No, assist. Yeah, take him out.
Assist.
Then take out Yoda. Then take out Jolie.
What are you talking about my assist for? Oh, assist. Oh. No, you're all four-sided. You suck. Hate it when you do that, especially when Yoda keeps on sharing.
Yeah, he kills himself, though, so that's okay.
Yoda's like the coronavirus of this crew. He just shares it with everyone.
I know. He is. He plagues everybody.
All right, and if you're all keeping count out there, how many times in this live stream have we said coronavirus?
We should be like, every time somebody says this special word.
Put the counter up. You then.
Blink,
fine.
blink, 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 blink.
Ding, 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 ding.
Now you just got to kill him before he brings everyone back to life. Yay!
Calm yourself, wreck yourself, and all that such.
No.
Buffer assist.
Call to assist Bastila to ability block him because you don't want him to call anybody. There you go. See, he's got ability block.
That's right. But then he still comes back with extra
That's
protection.
Okay.
Bonus protection. Bonus protection.
You still prevented him from using his ability. Now call to assist
it's like
Yoda.
That. Like that meme I always say. I don't know if you guys ever
now
saw
special,
that one,
and now kill him.
And then whack.
Now
all right.
Him.
Let's go ahead and mark. Yeah, I guess I could have saved that for Bastila, but we'll just go ahead and auto out the rest of it because I'm balling like that.
Well, you just said the box is inescapable, so there's no way to get out, so you can't get out by your definition.
By my definition. Well,
the answer is you don't get in it.
Nope. that would be the easy way, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That's the answer.
Yeah, but
technically.
no.
Depends on the opponent.
What, the box opponent or my?
Oh no. Someone's talking about gas or something. Just curious, how do y'all mod gas in mirror matches?
Depends on the opponent. Here. Oh, we can go back to that one. Just be nice.
Frank Brown, would you rather have continuously low battery wireless headphones or extra long wired cable? An extra long wired cable. And I do that actually on my Xbox. I hate buying batteries And unfortunately,
so many batteries.
Yeah.
This guy right here. I figure we go back and answer him since he was.
Warrior SureShot, what do you use against Geos if you want to save Treya for something else like Padme counter? What do you use against Geos?
Against the Geos.
I always used Treya against the Geos as just a go-to, just because it works so well. But you could use...
Because when it wakes, it wakes.
Yeah, because when it works, it works. But, I mean, if you did happen to have Jawas up pretty high, you could use Jawas. Otherwise, you can use...
The self-destruct was...
Otherwise, you can use Jedi Knight Revan. Jedi Knight Revan, because of the AoEs with Revan and Yoda, and the revive with Jolie, works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually use
General
Padme.
Mass attack.
Yeah, you can actually use Padme because Padme has, every time they attack out of turn, all that protection and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can use Grievous. I mean, there's a few that work. But a lot of them that you want to use are going to be things that you'll probably want to put on defense. So, I guess it just depends.
And that always depends on what you have left over by the time you get to a team.
Yeah, and I actually use Jedi Knight Revan to kill Padme because it works so much easier. And then I use Treya to kill... When I was playing, I would use Treya to kill the Geos and Jedi Knight Revan to kill Padme. It was just easier that way. So I wouldn't use, like he's saying he likes to use Padme, Treya to kill Padme. But I would actually swap those, is what I would do.
Just a quick switcheroo. Just a quick one.
And minimum gear requirements to unlock General Skywalker. Really, they recommend Relic Tier 3 on all characters. You can get away with far less. It takes a lot of RNG and time. There's a couple of key characters you definitely want a Relic if possible. First, the Zeta on Roly Poly.
Roly Poly?
What's his face? The droid that rolls.
Droidica.
Droidica, thank you. Droidica, Roly Poly.
Droidica.
Yeah, Droidica.
Padme.
Yeah, Droidica definitely, his Zeta made a huge difference for a lot of people. I didn't have it when I got gas, and it was a nightmare, even with higher relics. So people with lower relics did better when they had that Zeta. B2 and B1, but B1 definitely does a lot of damage and takes a lot of bonus turns, so he's a good character to have relicked, for sure. Definitely B1. Magna Guard.
Gear 12 and RNG's blessing.
Yeah.
That's the entirety of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, though. I mean, that's just the answer all.
Yep. Magna Guard as a tank for the dark side, and then General Kenobi as the tank for light side. Those two tanks probably relic, and you won't regret those two relics. And then Anakin and B1. You can get away with less. I think Asajj relic. A lot of people are doing Asajj relic for sure. There are some videos with less relics. I think that it's not optimal though. I think if you can relic more individuals, and once you hit relics, it's pretty easy to get to relic tier 3 with any character because it just requires some cantina energy. So I would recommend taking, if you can get them to gear 13, take them to relic 3 immediately, and then use them at relic 3. And that's the recommendation for the event. So,
well, then I'll chime in here with a ding, 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 ding. Somebody got the riddle. So I'll go ahead and repeat it for you here real quick.
Yeah.
Imagine you're inside a box. No doors, no windows, no way to get out. You're trapped.
Yep.
How do you get out? Correct. Tagged Murphy. You stop imagining. Imagine you're inside a box. Stop imagining. I love the look on your face, just like, I'm so annoyed with you right now. Yeah. Just stop imagining. I mean, obviously, for an imaginary scenario here, you don't need to worry about getting out. You just stop.
Stop imagining.
That one's kind of easy. I got more that are better if you want.
All right, Mr. Murphy, good job. Yeah. You get a gold star. You get a
gold star because you're either observant or you've heard it already or you cheated. One of the three. But,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he called you a cheater. That's it.
No, I didn't call him a cheater. I said he just may have. It's a possibility. I don't know you personally. I only know you through a screen with your tag, and the two words you said to me. So, since based on all that information, I know you like a brother or sister. And
Frank Brown says he gets gas every time he eats dairy. And then Ninja Bagel says he throws an imaginary tomato.
Boo! Hiss,
all right.
Hiss, boo!
Next question: Winter or Summer Olympics?
Winter or Summer Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh, Summer Olympics.
Yeah, 63% of the internet said summer.
Yeah.
I'm definitely Summer Olympics.
Mm-hmm. There's a better, wide array of events and sports and things like that. Certain things that they're calling sports now that I think is just kind of funny because I think they even tried to make dodgeball an Olympic event.
I also think that the winter sports, I mean, they're good, but I think they start to try and they just start trying to create sports to make up for there's not many sports, so they're just like, what else should we do?
All those fake sports like curling. Yeah.
They're like, well, he's going across the snow. Mm-hmm. Well, what else should we do with that? I don't know.
This guy's showing
give him a gun.
Yeah.
Really? Give him a gun. Seriously, give him a gun.
Yeah.
What else
Let's make him do cross country across ridiculous terrain so they're huffing and puffing by the time they get there, and then make him have to be steady shots with a rifle.
Have him jump on a bike that has skis on the bottom.
Ah.
Really? Yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. Heck with it. Let's do it. Let's create it.
And then have him go off jumps and do backflips while he's on.
It seems a lot like summer sports that we're just integrating into the winter sports. Mm-hmm. Why not? Let's do it. I mean, it's a little bit of a knockoff.
It's like the guy where he decides that everything is better while on weed. You ever watch TV on weed? No, man. Mr. Daily Show. I've never done that.
Winter all the way. Barrett says winter all the way, but he's from Canada, so he's biased. That's true. I bet you probably love winter sports.
Isn't that playing into one of your own stereotypes? It's not snowy and cold everywhere all the time in Canada.
No.
I mean, unless you're far north.
They get 30 days of summer. I mean, seriously.
I said, it's not the entire year.
I went to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I went to one of their malls in Edmonton, and everything was inside of a mall. Everything. They had these amazing, it was almost like Disneyland inside of there. I mean, they had a play area inside of there with it was a pirate ship that was inside there you could play on, and they had all these ski places inside, and they had a bowling lane, and they had everything was indoors, and I was just like, wow, there's so much to do. And they're like, oh yeah, that's because we basically year round have to do it indoors but I went there when it was summertime, and they were like, oh yeah,
their version of it.
we don't get a ton of this, so we have to, everything's indoors for the most part.
And Frank Brown, nothing personal against curling at all. That was just the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah,
where it's kind of
Frank
it's
Brown,
obscure,
Doc Diggler, West Edmonton Mall. They all know, and they say it's lit. And you're right, it was lit. We went to that mall.
It was well lit. I mean, fluorescent lights everywhere. I mean, every square inch of that place.
Edmonton Mall is not the norm up here. It really isn't the norm. It's just a really awesome mall, or what? It was awesome.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say Mall of America is not the norm here. We don't usually have amusement parks inside of our malls.
I just went there and they were like, here's a mall. And I was like, okay. And I went in and I was like, this mall kicks our mall's butt, because our mall has it's single story. It has 80 crappy stores, and you can walk it in it's literally, you walk it in 5 minutes, and you're like, I guess I'll have a pretzel. And then you leave.
There's no Cinnabon here, so I guess I'll have a pretzel.
Yeah. Can I have that stale pretzel with some of that old cheese, please? Yeah. And I'll have...
Oh, look, an Orange Julius.
I'll have that overpriced drink. Thank you. Okay. Honey, let's go. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. We can play chess with those oversized pieces on the floor, because this is a fun mall.
Or you get to ride the plush dolls that are all stiff and weird looking, and they burn out in about 5 minutes, and you don't get your money back.
And it looks awkward, and adults shouldn't be on them. So what are you doing?
Everybody who's on it usually looks so bored too, just like, why am I doing this? Why did I waste money?
Dude, that mall is amazing.
Yeah. Well, they don't have their Victoria's Secret right front and central the entire mall, so everybody has to walk around it all the time, and then tell their girlfriends they're not looking.
I don't know. Well, now I feel blessed I got to go to the West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah, right.
Because everybody's shouting it out, and they know exactly what it is, and they said it's awesome, and it's not stereotypical. So I feel like I went to a cool place.
Oh, Tag Murphy, your prize is a 12-star Gear 55 SureShot. Yeah.
You get a SureShot in your account. That's pretty cool. What is SureShot's abilities?
SureShot's abilities?
Yeah. His basic?
He basically talks and complains his opponents to death.
Oh, yeah. That I could see.
There's lots of great, cool Jedi things that I could do.
It's like an ability
But I won't, because this is a movie-style me and not a comic book, or sideshow Star Wars SureShot.
What's your first
You
special?
have to assume all of my abilities without ever seeing them ever play out in a movie whatsoever, and let all the lore fill in all the gaps.
What's your first special?
My first special, Force Lightning, that I only use one time to save my father.
Okay. What's your second special?
Second special. It's an AoE attack, but it hits you with facts so hard it leaves your head spinning.
And what? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's your unique?
My unique, reluctant leader. I can be put in the leader slot, but I don't ever want to be there. I won't put myself there intentionally, but somebody else has to choose me for that slot.
And once you're in that slot, what's the leader?
Leader ability. Everybody is endowed with extra tenacity and common sense.
And what's the tenacity about?
Tenacity is 250%.
Oh, nice.
To every person.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That actually would work.
Yep. It'd be a great bonus because then you could put up with a lot of BS.
Yeah. The other team would be like,
what? It tickles.
Actually, you would have to be tenacity up.
Yeah, tenacity up. Yeah.
Not because then it's just 1,000%, and it would be nothing would be able to apply.
Oh, true. Yeah. So it'd be tenacity up. Yeah.
It'd be a tenacity up that locks.
Yeah. Can't go away. Can't be dispelled.
For the rest of the event.
For the entire encounter, not when SureShot dies.
And then you would have a special unique buff over your head called SureShot, and every time you attack, you would hit your opponent for 50,000, and it's unavoidable.
Yep. Unavoidable. And it hits through defense. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true damage.
Yeah, true damage straight to health.
And you do this. And the person is just like, stop it.
It's an open-handed, hard slap that goes right across the cheek, just brings you right back to your childhood.
It's a front and a back.
And he says, no.
Okay. Would you rather?
There's the whole kit, Capital Games. You're welcome. I'll expect to see SureShot pop up in the game very soon.
Right. Hey, you have an event going on right now.
Tag Murphy will be the first one to get the character.
You can do. Oh, we could do a Worth It series really quick. Go to the packs.
Oh, the packs.
Yeah, let's do a Worth It series.
Packs.
Everybody wanted a Worth It series for slap. Let's do a Worth It series. Go to the store. We'll do a Worth It series. And I'll do another pull the internet question. Would you rather go 50 years in the future or 50 years in the past?
Ooh. To think about all the events that happened 50 years ago to see if it'd be worth going back into all that. Because let's see, we're 2020 now.
2070 or 1970.
Or 1970.
2070 or 1970?
See, I couldn't go back. There's no way because 69 was the year of the flower power of the hippie of the age of love. It was when everything was cool and hip and happened. In 68, 69, that was the time to be. 70 is when the hangover of the 60s started to happen. That's when things started to get depressing and weren't as cool and started to downturn a little bit. And it was just there wasn't a whole lot of good stuff happening. Everybody was all hoping for or wishing to go back to the heyday. So 50 years in the future would be interesting and be kind of cool to see how things are playing out. But there's certain things that I think wouldn't be happening anymore because we're already so far gone that couldn't come back to any of that. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'd be curious to see what's happening in the future. I would like to have gone back and seen what all was going on there. But if we're talking only being able to go back to 70, if we could get back in the 60s, I would say go back 50 years for sure. But since that puts me right on the edge there, then I guess I'd have to go forward because I think I'd be more curious as to what could be as opposed to what was.
Well, I can't see the pricing, so that sucks. So I'll just say none of these are worth it.
Well, tap for the price.
Tab.
Oh.
No.
You gotta log in.
I don't know. It probably this.
Well, this particular one I know
$100.
I know is $100.
Yeah, that's the highest it goes in America. Why? Rose Tico injector bundle? Why? That is sad.
Oh, because you need Rose Tico to Relic 5 now.
And then this is just some gear. I guarantee this is a ripoff. I guarantee it. This gear right here.
Oh yeah, they're in total cash grab mode right now.
Oh, look at that. These are all cash grabs right here.
Mm-hmm.
Those right there. And then these are straight up these are savage right here. Relic material and scrap.
They're savage, but you get 5, 10 Zimbiddles. That's it.
And but the reason for that is because you can't really get them any other way, and that's why it's totally to just make people buy all those. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
You should know the pan
Those are
now.
actually the best ones. Still crappy. Yeah, those are actually the best ones, definitely. You should know the past now, so you would definitely go to the future, is what they're saying.
True.
So it was a 50-50 split. Half of the internet would want to go to the future, half would want to go to the past.
Right.
Literally 50-50 split.
I'm a pretty curious guy when it comes right down to it. I'd like to see what the advances are and how good things are or how terrible. So, and that's also another question too, is like, well, do you stay there permanently or you just go visit and come back to your age, your timeline? They didn't say anything in there about that, did they? Just
No.
one way or the other?
Yeah, you just go there.
Assuming I can go there and come back, then, I mean, why not both? But either way, assuming I can go there and come back, because if it's a situation where
Until you get
I
stuck.
have to go there and I get stuck, then
Yeah.
neither. I'm good right here.
You have to choose.
If I had to choose,
Yeah.
go somewhere. You know what? I'm mostly a kind of guy that's like, you know what? Rip the Band-Aid off, don't pull it slowly, just get it over with. So I'd rather go into the future because if we're all dead and gone by then it's over. All right, cool. Finally finish this up, or get to see how cool and amazing and advanced we are. You know, either way, just get it over with. So going in the past just means I'll have to relive a lot of things that have already happened that I don't really want to go through.
So
like
Tig,
the 80s.
Tig. So it's like Tiger without the R, Tig. So Tig Murphy.
Tig Murphy. Oh,
Tig
okay.
Murphy.
I've been saying that wrong the whole time. I apologize.
Yeah, he helped us.
I must apologize.
Apologize.
Why is that all?
I don't know. Just
highlighted?
Click anywhere else.
I am trying to click anywhere else. There we go.
Tig. All right, you can go somewhere else.
It's like the tiger.
Tig.
Hans, what did you do with the tiger?
But I guarantee people, especially whales, are buying all those relic packs just simply because they need the relics. Because you run out of relic material.
Because this is the other $100. This is the other $100 pack they have going on right here. $100 will get you 35 pieces of these annoying pieces of gear and 5 Zimbittles, and that's
and 5 pieces of Zetas.
You're getting like what, 4 Zetas a week now? So I mean, it's not as if you're
7
Zetas
just from daily purchases.
Yeah, daily purchases and all. Yeah, that's
and
right. Because you're using your currency
and then
correctly.
You get another 6 from dailies. You get 13 a week minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you get 1 probably dropped in the other thing. You get probably 14 every week. Without even trying, if you're placing high, you get.
I mean, 5,000 crystals. What does that cost normally? I
was getting 14 a week basically when I was playing.
Right.
14 a week.
But 5,000 crystals is like what? That's like the $100 pack right there, isn't it?
No.
No.
No, you get 16,000 almost. 15,700
crystals for $100.
Yeah.
Okay, so this basically rip off pack of the century right here.
Yep.
In other words. # not worth it.
And you can only buy that if you got the Hyperdrive bundle.
Oh.
It's only available if you bought the Hyperdrive
Right, so if I go into the other account, then I look at that and be like, where's the pack available? Oh, you don't get that. And you don't get the nice gold lettering in your name there, which basically says, guess what, everybody? I'm not good at this game. I just buy my way through
Side note, the reason why you have the gold lettering and the reason why you have the bundle, even though you're free to play, is because the viewers at Christmas time donated.
The community helped us out with
donated money to you at Christmas time and bought you the pack.
Yep.
They actually donated.
Domo arigato, much appreciated.
Yep. You guys, the viewers, bought that for SureShot, which was super kind of you, very much so. So he could experience that also, so we could open it, so you guys could all see it, which was kind of cool as well.
Yeah, mutually beneficial. We all didn't individually have to pay $100 to see it, and we all threw a couple dollars in there, and like, so you know, hey, look at that, we get to see what all's in here.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. That was
an interesting mixture of, well, I don't want to spend money in this game, and I feel like $100 pack on any cell phone game is a waste of money. But on the other side of that, if you're going to spend the money anyways, it was definitely a worthwhile bundle for $100. That was pretty crazy.
It's not probably. It was the singular best pack they've ever built in history in the game. If you were ever going to spend money on this game, that was the pack you should spend money on because it literally gives you the best value.
And actually, I think it's still popping up to this day right now. It's still Hyperdrive bundle.
It's a forever thing.
A forever thing, yeah.
It's a forever thing. You'll either buy it or you won't. If you don't, it'll always be on the right side of your screen.
It'll always be there taunting you, saying, why aren't you cool enough?
Yep. That was a fun stream, Dark Stanley says, and that is true. It was fun.
Especially for me.
All right, last question of the day for you. Would you rather be bald by age 20, so all this would be gone at age 20. So
what's left of it up there.
Yeah, so that's kind of stinky. Or you could have your full head of hair, but you would only be 5'3".
That'd be so much easier if I was Wolverine because he is 5'3". That's ironic.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hugh Jackman, you got it wrong.
So you'd be 5'3", but you'd have your full head of hair, or you'd be bald, but by age 20 you'd be bald. Kev the Jedi says bald.
I'm lucky enough to have a good shaped head, so being bald. I mean, I've done crew cut with no guard before, so it was close enough, and I've experienced what that's like. Ironically enough, if I were to ever shave my head straight bald or go crew cut, I would shave the beard off because I do not like the combo of a bald head and a big ridiculous beard. For some reason, that just always seems to me like you're either a fat bouncer or a wannabe biker who, somebody who spends way too much money on all this Harley gear and runs around driving a Honda Shadow. Just for some reason that speaks volumes of that to me, whereas it doesn't speak volumes of hair. But there's also the catch-22 to that. If you're 5'3", you can catch a height complex or whatever. You overcompensate for everything, and you end up landing some, bimbo but supermodel, and she's happy that you have a full head of hair. So I mean, there's ups and downs to both, but I guess when it comes right down to it, where I'm headed and how things are going to work out, hair is just hair. I'll be bald.
You'd rather be bald, but still your 6 foot self. You're 6 foot, right?
Close. Depends on the day.
I was gonna say you're my height, basically.
Ish, yeah.
So you'd rather be?
I'd be more realistic. I'm gonna say I'm a 5'11" ish. Because I'm in my 30s now, so that probably means I've shrunk a little bit. Back in high school, yeah.
So you'd rather be taller but bald than shorter and full head of hair, and 88% of the internet agrees with you. They'd rather be taller and bald than shorter and full hair, and I think that's because, I hate to say it, but I do believe women, unfortunately, are superficial with height. Women want men to be taller most of the time.
That is the chief complaint that I've heard. I've actually had 2 women in my life say, "Oh, sorry, you're not over 6 foot. You need not apply."
Yeah, and my mom is 5'10", and she had a really hard time finding guys that were taller than her, and then she just hated that and just women in general, sometimes they're okay with shorter men, but most of the time, if you watch any of those like Bachelor shows or any of those, they always want to look up at the man and blah blah blah. It's like it's just a thing. It's not.
Taller guys somehow equate to being safer in their arms.
Yeah, and it's not to be stereotypical or rude or disrespectful or anything like that. It's kind of just the
general preference.
It's just a general preference. Yeah, it's like that's just. It's a stereotype that is actually a stereotype for a reason, because statistically, when you poll women, they'll say they want a taller man. I bet if you were to poll women, it would be like 88% of women, prefer taller men.
Or above,
and if you
they always start at 6 foot or above. That seems to be the starting point. What was a meme that I saw? Something along the lines of like, if your height has starts with a 5, then you're not. I'm not interested, or something like that, or need not apply, whatever it was. So. It's a preference thing, yeah. Actually, funny side note. I have talked to someone, and there's somebody I could be possibly interested in who is probably at least an inch or 2 taller than me. I think even maybe not flat-footed, but she likes to wear heels and wedges a lot too, so that kind of throws it off. But in no way emasculated by that. Not a problem for me.
What's up, Revenator? Revenator says hi. And by the way, Barrett says, "Why do you sound sick all of a sudden? You shouldn't have been touching your face."
Yeah,
I actually have a small sinus infection. I've had it for a couple of days, so
that's the definition.
That is actually what I have. It is not coronavirus, I promise. It is a small sinus infection, not contagious. So otherwise, this gentleman would not be next to me. So we are okay.
I ain't scared. No how, no way.
Yeah. Griffith Berserk says, evolutionary stereotypes hard to overcome, all part of looking for the best genes. Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
Whether you say it out loud or not, something instinctual inside of them is always looking that way. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that, people just know that they tend to gravitate towards whatever it is that they want. And what they want is what they want, kind of thing, and so.
And I want it.
Not saying that it's necessarily correct or right or whatever. It just kind of an apple's an apple. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just calling it what it is. You could probably full auto this.
I was just thinking to myself, you know what? I could say.
And then we're going to go
level too.
Yeah, and then we're going to go into story time. We have a fun story today.
Mm-hmm.
A warrior got swindled.
Warrior's been had.
Warrior got had pretty bad actually. I got swindled. I always tell people the story of the first car I ever owned. It was that '74 Chevy Nova 4 barrel 4 door car, and I took it out and I totaled it. And I've told that story before, and everybody's, if you're a follower and you've heard that story, you've probably heard that story a couple of times actually. That's actually not the first car I've ever owned. So yeah, we're actually gonna
the first car.
Yeah, we're gonna tell the story of the first car I ever owned, and the first car I ever owned, um, is a story that nobody knows about except for my brother Andrew, who may or may not still be on the live stream. So Andrew, if you're there, you can shout out what's up, because Andrew knows the story.
You'll remember this one.
Yep, Andrew will know, and nobody knows. Not even my mom knows this story. Of course, this will be the one live stream she decides to tune in for, apparently, because it's like the only time she ever watches is when I tell a secret story about something,
and then nicely give you crap for it later.
I know, right?
I like that mention to Frank Brown there. The best jeans come from Fashion Nova, and that's a fact.
Yeah, Andrew's like, yep. So Andrew, you can drop a hint in chat if you'd like. But my very first car.
Don't spoil it, but
don't spoil the story. But my first car was not, in fact, a '74 Chevy Nova. It was actually a different car. It was a 1950 car. We're going to talk about that. And Andrew knows because I actually met the guy who swindled me. I met him through my brother, Andrew.
Oh, now that part comes out. Good job, man.
I actually don't know exactly how I got introduced to him because it was actually, I think, introduced to Andrew through a friend of Andrew's. And then I met him kind of through Andrew. But yeah. I got totally swindled.
We won't throw the full responsibility on
all right, we're going to start. We're going to do story time. I'm going to expand and let's see.
I'll get my Zeta later.
Yeah. Okay, so Andrew, you remember this story a little bit. We're going to go to
full image.
Yeah. Through Ricky, that's right. So it was one of Ricky.
So Ricky still had that number.
Yeah, so Ricky had met this guy, and let's see if I can reset this. Transform, reset transform, and then let's do transform and fit the screen. Okay, cool.
There it is.
All right, so
let me steal that mouse from you. I'm going to do this while we're doing story time.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do the picture too.
Oh, okay.
If that's all right. Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, he had a pair of Komodo dragons. No joke. That is actually a funny part of the story I totally forgot about.
That's kind of cool.
Because he was Australian, and he actually brought those over, we believe, from Australia. At least that's what he told us. Warrior, roll out. So, okay. So this story, I was 15. I was working. I was either working at Fur's Cafeteria or Western Sizzlin'. It was one of those two places we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. And I was saving money, and I wanted to get my first car. This was actually before I got my first car, which was that '74 Chevy Nova we were talking about. And a friend of my brother's.
The goal of practically every 16-year-old male out there, yeah.
Yeah, and
not so much these days, but it used to be.
My brother's friend Ricky had introduced this guy, and this guy was from Australia, or at least he sounded like he was from Australia. And at the time, we didn't know he was a swindler. We found this out later.
He was actually from New Zealand. That's what.
Yeah, and he was renting a place over by the Walmart, over kind of by our by a Walmart near our house. And we were introduced to him. And anyway, I kind of got to know him through my brother. And actually, in his backyard, he had a Komodo, or a couple of Komodo dragons. And so we were kind of like, we went over there because it was like, hey, this guy's got Komodo dragons. He's from Australia. He's really cool. And you're like, what? And so you're like, I
don't know why, but this guy's awesome.
Yeah. And so we went over to his house and kind of got to know this guy just briefly, like, hey, and he seemed like a really cool cat. He's got these Komodo dragons, and he's like, yeah, just be careful. They could kill you with a bite. He knew a lot about them, and he's like, if they bite you, their saliva kills you. So just be
like, their saliva's full of parasites and bacteria and nastiness.
And like neighbors' cats would jump into his backyard and
and they wouldn't jump out.
Nope, and they wouldn't jump out. And so that was a thing. And he was living there, and he seemed a bit sketchy, but he also seemed like he was a nice guy. But he seemed a little bit sketchy. But not everybody is super not everybody we met back then was super good, but I mean, they also, you shouldn't judge people.
As a young person, you do run into a lot of sketchy people because you're just naive and you don't know any better.
Yeah, who knows how he got him. In fact, it's a Madagascar thing. I think the those Komodo dragons. I think on the island of Komodo. Isn't that by Madagascar? The island of Madagascar. I don't know.
I won't even act like I don't
even. I don't even know. But I believe he got them on the black market and brought them in. But anyway, the dude was really like, he did not want people to know he had them, and he kept them under wraps, and he hid them. Definitely didn't want people to know about them. But the story is about a car anyway. And so while I got to know him, he was a mechanic. He was really, 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 really good with cars. And he was constantly fixing stuff. And he helped, Ricky fix a vehicle, and he helped my brother fix some vehicles. And he didn't actually charge him anything. He helped Ricky fix a car for nothing, and he helped my brother with something. And my brother just had to buy some parts, and he helped get my brother's car kind of up and running. And I was just like, man, this guy's kind of a cool cat.
Oh, so he's starting off by putting off a good vibe.
Yeah, he kind of put out a good vibe, like, hey, this guy's a legit nice guy. And so he's like, hey, he saw me and he's like, hey, I got an opportunity for you. And I was like, huh, what's this about? And he said, yeah, he's like, there is a unique opportunity. There is a car. It's a 1950 convertible. The way he built it was that it was a Harley Davidson convertible. It was like the only year that Harley ever built a car in conjunction with like Ford Chrysler or whatever. And that they basically tried to get into the car industry. It didn't work out so well, so they kind of backed out.
They also made one that was similar to the midget, not AMG, but the MG midget.
Yeah, it was kind of like an MG midget style or whatever. But anyway, they try and get in and try and make a car, and then got out or whatever. But I don't know if what he told me was right. I just knew that it was basically like a 1950 convertible. And he said it's in this junkyard, and it's up on two other cars. There's two cars that are crushed, and it's on the third car. It's a third car up, and it's like a diamond in the rough. The people that have it don't even know what they have. Basically, we would go in there, we would buy it. And I'm like, so you want to buy it? And he's like, no. He's like, I think you should buy it. And I'm like, well, I'm only 15. I can't buy it. And he goes, well, I would help you. You give me the money, I'll buy it for you. And I'm like, well, that's cool, and he's like, and I know you're 15, your mom doesn't know about this, but I would help you. I could, restore it for you. Just, you give me the money, I'll buy it for you, and then you and I will get it from the shop. We'll tow it to the house, and then we'll leave it at the house until it's running and stuff, and then.
Because at this point, it seems like this guy is doing a lot of stuff out of the goodness of his heart, right? Not just, because he's helping out your friends for free, thinking, oh yeah, this seems like a good deal. Why not?
Yeah, and he was. I mean, he had helped multiple people for free. I mean, they were just buying parts for their car, and so he's like, you're gonna have to buy the car. You're gonna have to pay for the parts, and then it's all on you as far as that goes. But I can help you. I can teach you. I can kind of mentor you about this. I can kind of show you how to work on the car. Mm-hmm. So it'll be kind of a project thing over the next 6 months. But if you're down, I'm happy to show you kind of a little bit here, a little bit there, no big deal. And I said, well, that
seems legit.
Shoot, that sounds like a good thing. Now keep in mind, I'm 15. I'm an idiot, and I also didn't have a father growing up. Okay, so single mom family, didn't have a parent. Didn't have a dad.
Not an idiot, just didn't know better.
Didn't know better. I was an idiot. And so I didn't have a male role model, didn't have male figure. And so this guy, he's like an older dude. He's taking me under his wing. And so there was a little bit of desire there that I have a dude in my life that kind of takes me under his wing and helps me out. So there was a little bit of blinded desire for a male role model there as well. So there was that as well.
Seeking some mentorship.
For sure, seeking some mentorship. Because, at this point, the only mentor in my life was my brother, literally. Mm-hmm. And he was a year older, and Andrew's a great role model. But, you still want other role models as well. Mm-hmm. With you not having a father, it's you definitely seek that attention from other men in your life that you think have something to offer. So I was like, yeah, this is a great opportunity. So I got some money saved up, and I went with him to this shop, and got there, and the guy selling the car said, who's the car for? And the guy kind of said, oh, we're getting it together kind of thing. And I kind of gave the money to the guy, and the guy paid for it. And he's like, all right, well, it's going to be his car, right? In front of me, and the guy's like, yeah, it'll be our car kind of thing or whatever.
We're fixing
it.
Yeah,
we're fixing it up.
and
the guy at the shop could kind of sense that there was a scam afoot. And I could tell the guy was,
an eyebrow going
I could tell the guy was nervous for me, but I thought that the guy thought something else. And so I thought maybe I was getting in trouble for something. So I was like keeping it on the down low.
I'm not old enough, so I shouldn't be doing
Well, yeah, I'm 15. Like I'm like thinking maybe I'm breaking some law or something. So I was just like, no, man, we're good. Like, he knows what he's doing, and this is basically his car or whatever. I'm just here helping him kind of thing. And then we got out and we like drove the car home. And the funny thing was he actually drove the car. We hooked it up to his car. I drove his car. And I didn't even have a license, and so I had to drive his car home, and he drove his car or my car, and I towed it, and there wasn't even brakes, and so we had to go really, really slow, and he kept getting mad at me because every time we'd have to like slow down, my car kept bumping into his bumper because he had no way of stopping, but we didn't have to go too far. But
a game of bumper cars, all right.
It was a game of bumper cars all the way home. We pulled in, we got it done, and then over the next couple of months, he proceeded to look for parts, and we started to like restore it and like get the engine going and the transmission going and getting the doors functional, and we started like putting money into this vehicle and getting it kind of up and running, and that was good. And then after a few months, by the way, here's an image. Here is an image, if you will, of the car. It looked approximately like this, but it had a terrible paint job. So this is basically kind of what the car looked like. It was like a 1950 convertible.
Took one look at that and I was like, oh, Daniel-san, this is your first car. Oh, Mr. Miyagi, thanks.
Yeah. And so this was what it was. Obviously, it didn't look anything like this. It was, it had dents and it had bad, tires and rims, and it was wobbly when it drove, and it was messy. It needed a lot of TLC, a lot of love. But that's basically what it looked like. And so anyway, long story short, we spent, 4 or 5 months I spent every paycheck, every, 2 weeks, just turning my paychecks over to this guy, giving him money after money after money, getting this up.
Give me a cool car.
And then as soon as we had it up and running well enough, my brother and I went over there one day to chat with him, and he wasn't there. The Komodo dragons weren't there. The car wasn't there. Nothing.
That guy even stole all the light bulbs and doorknobs off his own house.
Everything was gone. He just disappeared. He vanished. He was a total scam artist, total scam. And because of course he had purchased it, the title work and all that was under his name. 15 years old.
I've done all the work. It's mine.
Yep. And so I got totally scammed. I spent all this money. I totally, basically helped him restore as best to the ability this car. It was a classic. I'm sure this car, in its shape that it was in, was still worth, in the terrible shape it was in, is still probably worth thousands of dollars. And I just completely got scammed, for what it was worth. The reason why
even rare rust buckets can sometimes still get $5,000. It's like basically just a frame and the body, nothing else. And I've seen guys buy certain Chevy trucks for like $5,000 just as it's sitting there. So
yeah,
from that point on, even somewhat restored, we're probably talking close to 10 at least.
Yeah, and so of course shame kicks in, and you're like, I can't believe I just got scammed. The only person in the world that knew this story was the guy who scammed me and my brother. That's it. That's the only person. Now the whole world knows potentially, whoever watches.
Welcome.
And I tell the story actually for a bunch of reasons, but the most important reason is that shame is funny. Shame makes you do or not do certain things. Shame will keep you from telling people things. I was 15. I got scammed. I should have called the cops. I should have reported this guy. I should have had them do investigation. I should have had them, go to his old house and, whatever, investigate. But I was so ashamed of what I'd done, kind of behind my mom's back, and not let her know that, that I just basically just said, I just wrote it off. I was like, you know what? 6 months of income, it's gone. I'm just going to move forward. And then I ended up saving some more money, and my mom ended up helping me get that 74 Chevy Nova. And as far as everyone knows, that was my very first car.
Right.
Even though my very first car really was a 1950, convertible that got stolen by a scammer.
It was your
So
1950s scam mobile.
yeah, my scammobile. But the lesson here is for everybody
Mhm.
is, you really can't allow shame in a situation to overtake the responsibility of a situation. You've got to do what's right. The other thing is you have to really be careful when it comes to situations like this. There's a lot of people out there that are 18, 20, 22, 25 that could come to a similar situation like this, where an individual may say something when it comes to legal contracts and stuff that say, "Hey, I want to help you, and I want to do these things," and it may sound stupid, and you may be going, "Oh my gosh, I would never do this," but there are a
Some
lot
people
of
can just come across
people.
as trustworthy. They sit there and they
Yeah,
promise you a lot of things and they tell you they're trying to help you out and I'm doing all this for your benefit so you don't get scammed. Well, that's a
just make sure
easy
it's
way to take
legal,
someone, yeah.
because no matter how much you love them or care about them or think that they're trustworthy, if it's not in your legal defense, it could go south, and if it goes south, you're going to get
Mm,
burned. That's just how it works. Always make sure that you have things contractually in your corner,
mm.
always, always, always. And I know a lot of people listening to
Well,
this probably assume that that's what they do, but there are also a lot of people just like me who, the first time they get burned, then they learn, and then they make sure it
hmm,
doesn't ever happen again. But
yeah, because you can't really you can't separate experience out of that. I mean, you can't
right,
what's the word? You can't exchange experience for that. If you go through a situation like that, you learn something out of it. You take it
right,
with you. You carry it forward. You can't sit there
right.
and be like, I think shame gets a bad rap because I think a lot of people think that you should never have shame. And yes, you shouldn't have out of context. You shouldn't have shame for things that were out of your control or things that you didn't do incorrectly, whatever. But situations like this, you got burned, you got slapped on the wrist, you learned from it, you moved on. That's experience you can take forward now, and nobody's going to be able to be brilliant about that the first time. We're all going to get taken at some point when we're younger. We're all going to have those moments, and you learn from those moments.
Yeah, the thing you got to keep in mind though is he had helped two other people previously of
Hmm.
his own volition, of his own free will, and it looked it. I mean, if it squawks like a duck and walks like a duck, it is a duck. It looked like a duck. It looked like he
Hmm.
was going to help me of his own free volition. He also was older and was like a mentor. I mean, that he mentored me for like 4 to 5 months. It literally was what he said it was, at least until it became a
Yeah.
scam.
Hey, maybe he
He
had every
played that
intention of
role.
working that out
Hmm.
for you, but something else came up, and he saw a good opportunity of, well, I'm in a tough financial situation. I can sell this car and get the heck out of here. And he
Yep.
made the wrong choice. You never
Yep.
know.
And so you just have to make sure that you always protect yourself, no matter who it is, even
Hmm.
if it's a friend or a family member. You always have to make sure, because especially if it's a friend or a family member, because if you put your friend or a family member in a situation where you give them the opportunity to potentially screw you, they could find themselves in a bad situation and end up doing that, and that could ruin a
Hmm.
relationship forever. You just want to make sure you don't even give people the opportunity to do that to you. So always make sure that you keep yourself
Yeah.
out
If
of
you're,
those
if you're going to take some
opportunities.
life experience on the chin, try to take it in small doses if you
Yep.
can.
Well, I appreciate you coming and hanging out again. Thanks for letting
Always
us
love being
pop
here.
into your account
Hmm.
as a background thing. Thanks
Yeah.
for
I hope
doing
it's
the
informative and entertaining in some ways for you
yeah.
guys.
Thanks for doing the Ask the Internet questions. That's always super fun as
Oh yeah,
well.
always a
So
good time.
lead us out of here.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out, guys. This was SureShot.
And this is Warrior, and you guys keep your gaming on. Warrior and SureShot out.